families, individuals, they get promoted, they get demoted, they have to take time off sick, or it might be that the industry they're in falls on its heels a bit. Like if you're unlucky, you get unemployed, you get laid off, you get your wage takes a hit relative to others. How do you get by? The key idea in the research really is to just think through how families and how individuals deal with the events that occur over their working life. Do other members in the family try and find work to cover income losses, for example? Do they draw on joint savings? Do they borrow? Does the tax and benefit system do something to help them? It's trying to piece together exactly what happens in a family and what happens to family income, to family spending, to their consumption, their well-being, if you want, as adverse and good events happen to that family through their lifetime. What we do here is use data that follows families over long periods of time, in fact, over most of their lifetime. This is what we call panel data. We follow the individuals in families and family splits, family formations. One thing that I was looking at in particular is whether other family members then go out to work. And it turns out that's a pretty common type of mechanism, we would say, to deal with adverse events that hit families. Why is that important? Well, if you're trying to design, if you want, or understand how best to put in place a public support system for incomes, through income support, through universal credit, if you want, through all the different ways that the state helps individuals, this can kind of look at the interaction between those things and what the family does for itself. And that's the key idea. So some things the family can deal with through its savings, through labour market, and some things the family finds it much more difficult to deal with. And really you want the state to complement in a sensible way what families can do themselves. So in a policy sense, it's very important to understand how families deal with these adverse shocks so that we can think about how social insurance systems, how taxes and benefits can be best designed to keep families afloat, if you want, when adverse events occur. Inequalities occur because some people fall on bad times and some families fall on bad times and some do well. It does give you a very interesting description of an economy that's very different from what, say, macroeconomists would look at. You can talk about growth rates, GDP, kind of aggregate measures of economic activity, but one really key measure that we all worry about, of course, is the distribution of those resources across people, and inequality is all about that.